Hey there, good morning. Welcome to my world of reselling on eBay. My name is Shallon and I'm a fairly new reseller on eBay. I'm here, I just want to share my store progress as I go through week by week, starting at the 90-day benchmark that all of eBay goes off of, and just see how things go and offer solutions to problems or changes or whatever happens. This week we are in week 15 and the numbers are looking okay. Have we recovered from several days of slacking a few videos ago? I'm not really sure, but time will tell. Realistically, looking at a 1 week time frame on eBay can be deceptive. You can have what appears to be a really great number of sales, but your total profits are kind of in the tank. And you could have what appears to be a really great gross sales total, but again, your total profits aren't that great. And this week kind of covers all of that. I had $697.14 in sales. Out of that was the one large format printer I talked about last week that sold but hadn't been paid for yet. And that was $360. So that was a huge chunk of this week's sales. I'm glad to have the sale. I'm glad it's complete. However, it kind of skews the numbers a little bit. I sold 16 items this week on eBay for a total average sale price of $46.48, which again seems really great. But if you take that printer out, I'm now at 15 items for the week. That $360 for that printer brings my total sales down to $337 for the week. For 15 items, that's really not that great of a week. So grateful to have that printer sale come through, but a little bit leery on where to go for growth with these numbers because of that. I did not meet the 70 listing goal per week that I had, that I talked about last week, and here's why. I had decided that maybe interaction with eBay is not about number for number matching your previous day on listed items or value of listed items. I don't think the interaction is that strict. I feel like if I can present a 5-day consistent interaction with eBay and then 2 days off and then 5 days again the next week, they're going to go, okay, this store works during the week, takes the weekends off, but they are consistently interacting with eBay, consistently bringing their items here, consistently looking for buyers here. Hopefully that is what they're looking for in an algorithm versus 10 items, 10 items, 10 items, whatever. So we'll see. We're going to run with this theory for a couple of weeks, see if and how it affects our store, and just focus on that. Going based on that theory, I got 47 new listings up on eBay with 52 total items. A couple of them were multi-quantity items, so that will come into play down the road, hopefully, when maybe I don't quite meet my goals. So we'll see how that goes. I now have 292 listings on eBay, 374 total items due to multi-quantity items that are listed. So that gives my buyers a lot of things to look at. I sell all the things because I don't have enough resources for one niche right now. Will that change in the future? Possibly. But currently I can't narrow it down to one niche of any kind, so I just sell things of value, which I think gives my buyers an opportunity to find things in different categories that maybe they're looking for, and then they save on shipping by buying them all from me. Okay, recapping. $697.14 in total sales. $437.59 of that is my money back after fees and shipping. Out of that $437.59, my cost of goods are $236.92 because of that printer. So my actual taxable income for week 15 is $236.67. And that's not a good income for a full-time effort. But we're in the beginnings of things. We're not expected to make hundreds of thousands of dollars every week. So it's okay. It's good. It's still profits. It's still progress, in my opinion. And so I'm going to graciously accept that and move forward with this week and give it 100% based on 5 days of interaction and my weekend free. And we'll see how that goes. We'll, check progress again in a couple of weeks and see if that method works. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was a little bit more on your profit dollars per item versus your return on investment. And this can be kind of confusing for some people because you can have a significantly high return on your investment and still not make any money. Or you can have a very low return on investment, but it equates to a high dollar profit. And that is really good for you because you're bringing in more income. And that's the whole goal here. It is to bring in more income. So just a few things that happened this week that I wanted to highlight were, again, this large format printer cost me $156 a few years ago. I didn't consider it part of my sellable inventory until about 3 weeks ago. So I'm just going to assume I paid $156 3 weeks ago. I sold it for $360. That is $204 back in my pocket before eBay fees. And that's a pretty significant dollar amount to get back because I'm also getting my $156 back that was initially invested. That is a good profit dollar per item, in my opinion. Yes, there are things that you can buy for $4 that sell for $400, but in this week's examples of what did sell, that is my best profit dollar item, simply because it is bringing me back a couple $100 into my pocket as well as paying for itself. Now on the flip side, when you talk about your return on investment, I sold Clue weapons, like the game of Clue, the little weapons that can be used for the murder. I sold those, a 6-pack, for $2.99. My cost was 11 cents. So my cost is very minimal. My return on investment was over 2,000%. But when you break it down to dollars, I'm only getting $2.88 back before fees and taxes. So I'm basically making $30 an hour before taxes. That's not terrible, but it could be a lot better. With my next example, which were some baby Einstein videos that I picked up at a thrift store for 5 cents a piece. It was a 3-pack of videos in average used condition, 15 cents invested. I accepted a best offer of $10 with the buyer. They paid shipping. So my money back before fees was $9.85. Of that $9.85, I'm going to have to pay eBay fees and income tax, but I'm still looking at, as far as the dollars for the item, the amount of time I put into this entire process with these VHS, maybe 5 minutes, I'm looking at over $100 per hour wages based on sale price and investment cost. Again, though, you're talking $2.88 back. That is not a good number if that's only coming in once in a while. Sure, the return on investment is high, over 5,000%. But the actual dollars that you get back were very minimal. And you can't survive off of that if you rely on your eBay sales to pay a bill or buy groceries or support your entire family. You just can't go based only on return on investments. Those are things to think about when you are sourcing your items. Is sure, maybe this is only a 25-cent trinket and I can sell it for $15, but how quickly is that going to sell? How quickly are you going to get that money back? And is a $15 sale where you want to focus your sales? I personally really love it when I sell things that are like $30 or more, because I know that my money back is going to be a significant chunk. My efforts put into that listing are well paid for, and it makes me happy. Obviously, I'm not relying on $30 or more sales because I have to find and sell everything that I can find and sell. And so part of that comes into time management with sourcing. You don't want to spend a bunch of time looking for only $30 or more items. Will it pay off in the end? Maybe. I don't know, because I don't do that, but maybe. My philosophy is if I go and spend 3 hours sourcing and I come home with 10 items that will sell for $30 or more, sure, I'm getting $300 for those 3 hours, which is $100 an hour wage. But only selling 10 items, they have got to be some pretty sweet items in order to maintain a sales rate enough to keep that going. Because you're just not, in my opinion, you're just not sourcing enough items for the amount of time. Now, if you lower the benchmark and let's say you consider that return on investment factor as well, if I can get 10 times my money back, so a 25-cent item you're going to sell for at least $2.50 or more, and it's simple to photograph, simple to list, eventually it sells. Those little bits add up as well. So mixing the two, doing a little bit of both currently, in my opinion, is the best way to build, because you want those consistent sales, but you also want that income coming in. Managing your sourcing, maybe looking for alternatives to running through a thrift store, looking up every item that you think might be worth selling. I personally bought a e-waste pallet, it's called, and it had some really good items in it. We bought this pallet, let's see, I think it was right at the end of February, and we have sold about 20 of these items that have almost covered the full cost of the whole pallet. So all the rest of these items in the pallet are going to be profits. It's going to take time though to sell them, so that's a drawback. Additionally, 2 weeks ago, we bought a Amazon return pallet, and based on what I've gone through and sorted, we'll double our money back on that pallet. I don't know how long it'll take. Not everything's even been listed yet, because I don't want to dump a bunch of listings and then sit and wait for sales. I want to space them out over time. We also came away with some really cool things that we kept that normally I wouldn't have even considered buying. So that's a slight bonus to that option as well. So when you're talking sourcing or time management, it might be better for you to get in a pallet of something, whether it's returns, shelf pulls, something. Get in a pallet and go through that for your sourcing. So you're spending minimal time on sourcing and maximum time on selling. Obviously, there's a huge risk involved there, and maybe you don't want to take that risk. What I would suggest is get yourself really familiar with what sells well, either brand names or certain product, certain category, and then hit the thrift stores, hit the garage sales if you have them. We don't have any yet right now. Hit them up and see what's out there, and try and look beyond the mainstream item. My thrift stores, they're pricing all the mainstream name brand shoes and clothing, name brand toys at retail eBay pricing. So you have to look beyond that to find the things that maybe they haven't quite realized is valuable, or maybe it's such a one-off item, they're like, whatever, just put $5 on it and get it out of here, and it's a $200 figurine set. I had that happen. So, really strategize in how you want to source. Save yourself time in the beginning, because then at the end, you know exactly how much time it's going to take when it comes to your listings. Other ways that I've struggled with time management specifically is this last week we had spring break. So my kids were home. I felt an obligation, even though they're teenagers, to be available for them, to interact with them, to engage with them, to force them to spend time with mom, which they hated, but I did it anyways. And because of that, I could not hit my previous goals of 10 listings every day and still do the customer service and still prep to try and start building a draft bank. And I still have not been sourcing yet for a really long time, it feels like. So those things, they kind of hindered my ability to reach those goals. Not in a bad way, just in a way that made me rethink, am I required to engage a certain number of listings every day with eBay to stay relevant? Or am I more so required to consistently engage in my way for them to consider me relevant? I personally am hoping and putting my money on consistent engagement my way is just as important as consistent listings every day, because I just can't do 10 listings every single day. I am too free with my time and too willing to be like, yep, let's go. And then an hour later, like, shoot, I didn't do my eBay yet today. So we'll see how all of that goes in the coming weeks. For now, week 15, where we sit, I am pleased with how things are going. I'm very critical of myself, so obviously there are ways that I feel like I could improve. But as a whole, I am very pleased with where we sit, and I'm excited to see what next week brings, changing my philosophy on engagement with eBay versus consistent numbers. And we'll see how that goes, I guess. I don't know. I appreciate you watching this video. If you've made it this far, please hit that like button and subscribe button so you can find out how things go for next week. I'll see you next time. Bye.